Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Lee and His Sneaks, where I talk to you about the sneakers in my collection and my personal connection to each sneaker. So, this week, we're going to talk about this shoe right here, the Holy Grail. One of the Holy Grails, actually, the Air Jordan 4. This is the second Air Jordan designed by Tinker Hatfield. It was released in 1990. This is the cement colorway. If I can just bring it out a bit, you can see the speckles in the gray. This is also Nike Air on the back. This is one of the most coveted colorways of the line. It always sells out whenever it's re-released. I remember when they retroed this for the first time in 1999 it was. I wasn't up on my Jordan game like that, but I remember seeing some of the OG heads walking around with the Nike hang tag on it when I worked at Nike Town. I scooped this pair up in 2015 at Foot Locker on 34th Street. It was just sitting on the display, like size 14, just right there. Came in, put on layaway, ended up buying it. That was like the best thing ever, when Foot Locker like allows you to put shoes on layaway. What? Man, I came up big on some shoes. Here, let's look at some other colors here. We got the the bread version, I should say. They recently released this one last year with the Nike Air on the back from the Remaster line. This was a shoe that Jordan wore in the playoffs when he caught the inbound pass. They were playing against Cleveland, and they eliminated them that game. It was down to Michael, clutch player, caught the inbound pass, took the shot, went in, friggin' Craig Elo. Oh man, you gotta be joshing me. How can you do that? And that was when you saw Michael in the video punching in the air. Yeah, this was a shoe he wore. Not this shoe, obviously. We got another colorway here. This is the Fire Red. They finally re-released this one with the Nike Air on the back. Over 30 something years for this one. 30 years for this one here. I changed the laces on them. I put in some like ivory cream laces here. I want to give it that vintage look. These actually don't release until Black Friday. Well, November 28th. I was lucky enough to get an early pair. I was gonna wear them yesterday, but I was just like, nah, chill. I don't know when I'm gonna break these out, but I gotta wear them because that's the rule. You gotta wear your sneakers, man. You can't just let them sit on ice in a display case. But anyway, so the Air Jordan 4, my personal connection to these actually comes with this colorway right here. When I was, how old was I? Maybe 7 or 8 when I first saw Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. Man, that was a beautiful movie. And Giancarlo Esposito's character wore these in the movie because Spike Lee, he actually kicked off some of the the dope marketing campaign for the Air Jordan line in 1988 with the Air Jordan 3, when he used his character Mars Blackman from She's Gotta Have It. You know, yo money, it's gotta be the shoes. That was from that line. And he would always feature like an Air Jordan in some of his movies. And this was one of them. And this was worn by Giancarlo Esposito's character in Do the Right Thing. Remember that iconic scene where the dude with the Boston Celtics jersey walks by him, drinking out of the Tropicana, bumps him, and then he looks down, yo, my man, like he yells at him, like, and then Martin Lawrence is in the crowd. He's like, yo, you paid $99 for those plus tax. Like, and then another scene was him scrubbing them like with a toothbrush on the fire hydrant. But when I saw that movie for the first time, when I think we saw it on tape, so it was probably like 1990 or so, because remember, it took like a year and a half for a movie to come out on tape from theaters. And I remember this scene, Bill Nunn, who played Radio Raheem, when they have the big riot and the cops come to disperse, and he ends up putting him in a chokehold with his nightstick. I was like 8 years old when I saw that scene, and that scene burned. When he lifts him up and you see him, he's wearing the Air Revolutions, and his feet are, trembling from the lack of oxygen, like he's suffocating. that shot was etched in my memory forever. I still remember that shot, and it was just like, wow. Like, I didn't know the term police brutality just yet, but that put it on my radar. And I'm just, as a kid, all these things just going through my head, like, why is he doing that? And I'm also just like traumatized a bit from seeing like the suffering. Spike Lee did a great job. Like, from a filmmaker's perspective, that was like an awesome shot to get. It really like helped that scene land home. And then like they drop him, and then he falls like so close. His face like lands like within inches of the camera, and the cop is taunting him, get up, he's faking it. They just throw him in the back of the cruiser with Giancarlo's character. And like that really, like, I didn't understand what was actually going on until I got older. When I saw it maybe in like my 20s again, it was just like, yo, Spike Lee took that risk. He took that daring risk to tell that story, to show the world, like, this happens, man. This ain't no game. Like, this is before the internet and smartphone cameras. Like, you had to go to the theater to see this, and that movie could have easily been shelved by the studio. No, we're not going to release that. We're good, or you gotta take that scene out, because they'll sometimes do that to you. You gotta take that scene out, or we're not gonna release your movie. So whoever it was that said, yes, let's keep this scene in and push out there, kudos to you. But most importantly, kudos to you, Spike Lee. Thank you for telling that story, and thank you for putting that on the map. I'm sure there are other movies before this. I'm an actor, I should know this according to you all, but that was like the first movie that I seen that depicted police brutality in such a way, such an up close, intimate way that it traumatized you. So thank you, Spike, again, for being so brave and so daring, and to tell our story in such a way and bring attention to something that a lot of people don't think exists. But hey, man, what can you do in this world? But that's the end of our episode. Thank you very much. Air Jordan 4. I love this shoe. I gotta clean this upper a bit. Gotta replace these laces. I usually kind of break these out every now and then. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, Tinker Hatfield designed this, and he put the wings on there for added support to lock in the foot. I usually don't string the laces through the wings. I kind of like to let them flap out a bit, but not so much. But just like, I just don't like the way it looks when it's so tightly tied. But yeah, the Air Jordan 4, awesome colorway. I'm waiting for the military blue colorway to release. I don't know what shoe I'm going to talk about next week. I'm dealing with my perfectionism. I always have to have everything lined up. So next week, you just gonna have to pop in and see what I'm gonna talk about, and that's just what I'm gonna do from now on. So thank you again so much for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate the followers. Much appreciated, and I look forward to talking to you about whatever shoe I'm gonna pull out next week. But as I always say, be safe, be well, and most importantly, just be kind and be nice. All the best, y'all.
Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville.